Think you know what sparked civilization? Picture this. Ancient humans huddled together, not for bread, not for survival, but for beer. Yes, B-E-E-R. But how could a drink fizzy, intoxicating, and seemingly simple lay the foundations for society as we know it? It's somewhere in the Fertile Crescent, modern-day Turkey, Iraq, and Syria. Early humans have begun experimenting with grains. They gather wheat and barley, not yet realizing the power they hold. Then it happens. A clay pot, left in the rain, starts to bubble. That bubbling? It's fermentation. Wild yeast, water, and grain combine to create something no human had ever tasted before. The first sip is strange, sweet, sour, fizzy. But it's also warm, comforting, and, oh yes, it makes the world feel a little lighter. Was this an accident? Or fate? Either way, what came next would change humanity forever. In 1994, archaeologists uncovered something extraordinary. Göbekli Tepe, a temple older than Stonehenge. Massive pillars carved with animals stand in circular formations built by hunter-gatherers before the invention of the wheel or agriculture. But buried within this site were massive stone basins, not for baking bread. No. These basins held remnants of fermented grain, a precursor to beer. Imagine it! Hundreds of people gathered, drinking this mysterious brew, feeling its effects. This wasn't just a party, it was a ritual. A shared experience that likely forged bonds, alliances, and perhaps even the very idea of community. For decades, historians believed bread was the catalyst for agriculture. People farmed grains to bake loaves, they said. But what if the real motivation wasn't food, but drink? Consider this. Beer was calorie-dense, safer to drink than water, and packed with nutrients. And, let's be honest, it was fun. Would you settle down to toil in fields just for bread? Or would the promise of a communal drink make farming worthwhile? The theory is controversial, but the evidence is mounting. Could beer, not bread, be the spark that lit the flame of civilization? In Mesopotamia, beer wasn't just a drink. It was divine. The Sumerians worshipped Ninkasi, the goddess of beer. Her hymn, inscribed on clay tablets, is the world's oldest recipe. Ninkasi, it is you who pour the fresh beer. These words weren't just instructions. They were a hymn of praise, a celebration of the drink that brought people together. Even in Egypt, beer was central to society. Pyramid builders were paid in bread and beer, a ration that fueled the construction of one of humanity's greatest wonders. So, let's return to Göbekli Tepe. Why would hunter-gatherers with no farming tools build such an elaborate temple? Some archaeologists believe it wasn't for bread or shelter. It was for beer, a drink that brought people together, inspired creativity, and maybe even gave rise to religion. Beer wasn't just sustenance. It was a reason to gather, to share stories, and to imagine a world bigger than oneself. In those moments, humanity may have discovered not just alcohol, but something greater. The power of connection. Today, researchers continue to uncover traces of ancient brewing. From China's fermented rice beer to Europe's Celtic ales, the story is the same. Across continents, beer was not just a drink. It was a cultural cornerstone, and as we uncover more, the question grows louder. Did humanity truly settle down for bread? Or was beer the real reason we planted the first seeds? From the sacred rituals of Göbekli Tepe to the bustling breweries of today, beer has been with us every step of the way. It's not just a drink. It's a story. A story of accidents, ingenuity, and the timeless human need to connect. So, next time you sip a cold one, remember, you're not just drinking. You're toasting to the very beginning of human history.